So there I was, fist fighting a grizzly bear at the Yellowstone National Park, when I realized I carry something so ridiculous that has an operating pressure of 65,000 PSI, weighs as much as a 4-cylinder engine in your daughter's car, and requires back surgery if you carry it for too many days in a row. The Smith Wesson 460. This gun, shooting it, I feel like is like being at a SpaceX launch. I've heard horror stories of guys gripping these wrong and losing their fingers from the percussion, the blast that comes out between the forcing cone and the cylinder, that little gap right there. Everybody's gonna want to shoot it if you bring it to the range. It's a great little piece. Today we're gonna shoot the Smith Wesson Performance Center 460 and ask the ultimate question, does it suck? So the one thing about shooting a 460 is if you shoot it and then go home, your gas mileage will get better because your car will weigh that much less. These things are ridiculous. Both John and I have double ear pro on because it's ridiculous. You ready, John?
I'm ready.
It's ridiculous.
It's ridiculous.
There's a lot of recoil. I'm blind from the fire. My hand hurts. My finger's getting sore. But that bad guy target, he's dead. He is dead. Man, that thing's brutal. Thank God there's only 5 rounds because it's brutal. Look at it. Oh, man. So yeah, if you've got grizzly bear problems, small block Chevy problems, Kenworth problems, need a plasma cutter and have one of these, I think they probably all do the same thing. It's ridiculous, seriously. Even with the rubber grip, this thing is tough to shoot. I've shot this before. These are hand loads. Maybe I've got them loaded too hot, but they came out like they're not loaded too hot. I've got a lot of experience hand loading. If you're gonna go and shoot it for fun, I would say shoot 45 Colts. Get something really, really easy to shoot. The full-on 460 with whatever weight bullet I've got in there is pretty tough. Let's shoot it some more. These guns come with adjustable sights, which are pretty good. Smith Wesson revolvers are kind of where to be at with revolvers in my mind. I really like their stuff. They've been doing it for a long, long time. They have adjustable rear sights. They do actually have a decent fiber optic front sight. You can get like a Wiegand base for a pick mount, so to speak, if you wanted it, but they are not factory ready to go with an optic plate. So not really optic ready. I don't know if you'd want an optic on this gun. It already weighs enough anyway, so if you grab a scope, maybe throw a VCR on there, something else heavy to really weigh you down. It needs a diet, but not with that recoil. Adjustable grips, you can replace them. They're not adjustable. I would recommend something that's made out of pillows maybe, or something that doesn't make you shake like you've just been in an accident.
I've been in an accident! Could you put a muzzle brake on it? Like what kind of extras? Are there other extras?
They're really about the only extras. You're gonna buy some livestock, like half a cow, and you're gonna get a holster that's ridiculously sized because it's a ridiculously sized gun. Extra-wise, the way these are assembled, they're a tension barrel, like they've got that thread-in barrel. Think of it like a collet setup. Smith & Wesson could probably do a better job explaining how that is actually assembled than me, but we're not putting a muzzle brake on it. They do pin their front sight, so if you wanted to replace that front sight, see that little roll pin right in the end? We can replace that. You can replace the rear sight. Not that there's a huge need to, just a couple of screws on top and in back. Take those 2 off, slide it out. Really not a lot that this gun needs. It's a very utilitarian gun in the idea that it's meant to be a backpack gun. It's meant to go into places where you might be fishing and find bears, and you might be bear hunting and find fish. Like these 2 things go together really well in my mind. You thought that 4570 from Wind River was bad? This guy's badder.
I got better fish to fry.
So I think the average cylinder pressure on these is 65,000 PSI. That's full-on high-power super mag rifle territory. It's really, really heavy as far as the per square inch pressures. Double muffs and plugs because you get so much. It's uncomfortable inside, especially inside of an indoor shooting range. This guy's rough. So yeah, if you do decide that you want to carry one of these, a couple options are going to be a bandolier holster, like an across the chest where you can wear it outside of waders, outside of a coat, something easy to get at, because on your hip might not be the best spot in that case of legitimately, I've got a bear attacking me, I've got a cougar attacking me, I need to get rid of an apex predator. This might not be a good idea if it's under a coat, because Mr. Kitty just won. He ate you. On a real serious note here, guys, this gun came out of my vault at home. This is my personal gun. That's why I've got hand loads for it. I got invited to a DIY caribou hunt several years ago. Never happened, which I love the idea of going, but it didn't happen. And the idea was, what if we run into something where we got to get out of trouble? We need to fix a bear problem. And that's what this gun was for. This is like big medicine for bears. Anything, I'm very, very confident in saying anything in the world that you would find yourself approached by, this caliber, this gun has the capacity to neutralize, to take care of it. This will kill everything on the planet. There's a guy that, and don't quote me on his name because I won't remember it, but there's a guy that's taken several elephants with 460 or 500, one or the other, in the same cartridge family as far as I'm concerned. Smith Wesson has their X frame, which is like extra, extra large, I think is what it stands for. Extra, extra strong to take the pressures. But they do the 500 and the 460 in a variety of barrel lengths. This is the smallest one. This is the one that's meant to carry. This gun weighs a ton for a carry gun. Legitimately great holster, great belt will help. Bandolier style, so you can distribute that weight over your shoulders, is a good idea if you do plan to carry it. It's a gun with a purpose. It's not a gun really for fun. Yeah, your buddies will shoot it twice and they'll bang on their chest a little bit. But it's a very, very stout recoiling revolver. It's tough to shoot, but it might save your life. The Smith & Wesson 460 is a great gun for wrestling off grizzly bears. The shooting experience with this thing, I feel like, is like having somebody take a 3-pound hammer and hit you in the hand every time you shoot it. It's pretty stout, but these are some pretty stout loads too. Shooting experience-wise, this is not for the faint of heart. This is not a beginner's gun. This thing's got a ton of recoil. It doesn't do well because of its recoil characteristics. However, trigger-wise, mechanism-wise, that does really, really well. Hard for me to take a super mag type revolver and say, oh, it's got recoil. Well, of course it has recoil. I'm gonna put it right in the middle of the pack though, just because it's tough. They could have ported it. They maybe could have done something better. I can't say they make it any heavier because it's dang heavy. This gun is totally not optic ready. There's really not anything that you would want optics on this for. Aftermarket sources, you can change sights, but yeah, it's not optic ready from the factory. There's nothing you can do there. I can't give it any points really. Adjustable grip. The grip is replaceable, but not adjustable. Replaceable, not adjustable. Extras. No threaded barrel that you can put a suppressor on. It would be nice, something to help tame that recoil down. Holsters, grips, ammo. That's all you need for this gun. That's what they make. It's aftermarket stuff. There's a lot of cows out there for one of these guns. I think it takes 3.5 cows.
Rich Corinthian leather.
It's still not a lot for extras. Not a lot you can do for extras on a revolver. So the baseline there might be lower than what we needed. Carry score. You're gonna want a small boy with a rickshaw to follow you around with this gun because it weighs so much. Seriously, it's gonna take a real good solid carry belt, or like we've been talking about, the bandolier holster, to really make that a carryable gun. Carryable in the idea of what it's meant for. It actually scores fairly well because in the idea of I need a backpack gun, there's 2 choices in my mind. This gun is for my personal collection for exactly that use. It scores pretty high with the highest amount of horsepower you can get in that sort of thing. It's still tough to carry. I know you guys are probably like, why would he give it that? Because in the idea of I've got a backpack and something to save my life because I've got a grizzly bear that's trying to dry hump me to death, this is the one.
I don't think that's how they kill you.
Oh, does it fill a need? It does fill a need. The other gun that I look to is made by the same company. It's lighter, it's, I'm gonna say equally as violent to shoot, but it does fill a need. Could it be done better? Could I do it with a different caliber? Yeah, but it does feel a need. And I think this is a great way to do it because it's the most horsepower. And I like horsepower. I'm a big horsepower fan. So the ultimate question, does it suck? It doesn't. This gun does its job extremely well. Does it do a lot of jobs extremely well? No, but it might prevent you from being eaten by a grizzly bear or a rabid lion or a small block Chevy if you need to neutralize one of those. It doesn't suck. It's hard to give it any more than a 3 though, because it has one job of being the ultimate hammer in an idea of I need a sledgehammer that I can conceal carry. This is your guy. Hard to shoot. Not a lot of aftermarket stuff, not that you'd want any. Buy some ammo and maybe a wrist brace, some salve for your hand. This is the gun for you. Doesn't suck. I think that leaves us at 19 out of 35. 19 out of 35. So we get more than halfway there. If you want to shoot a gun that's got recoil that's stiffer than a wedding day prick, this is the guy. You should come check it out at Hart Brothers. It's available for rent. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. I'll find you. Actually, I'm gonna call your wife. She's gonna find you. Come on, buddy, let's go. You ready, John?
I'm ready.
It's ridiculous. There's a lot of recoil. I'm blind from the fire. My hand hurts. My finger's getting sore. But that bad guy target is dead. He is dead.